Добрый день, дорогие друзья! Рад приветствовать вас. Меня зовут Марат, и очередное очень интересное интервью я готов провести сегодня с Энтони Rabara, прекрасный мастер романа Пилатеса второго уровня, который живет сейчас в Нью-Джерси. Очень опытный, очень известный, очень талантливый преподаватель, который готов сегодня поделиться с нами не только своими знаниями, которыми он делился последнюю неделю на своих семинарах, экзаменах, на своих воркшопах, но и своими ощущениями, эмоциями от тренировки с Романы Крызановска по прекрасному методу Джо Пилатеса. Hi, Anthony.
Hi, Marat.
We're so glad to have you here in Russia for that week. So today is your last day.
It is.
Yeah,
it goes fast.
Yeah. It feels like just yesterday I met you in the airport, and it was amazing.
Every day goes faster and faster.
Yeah. But the people have the impression, they have a very good impression about you. They share with me, they get a lot of knowledge and also very inspired by you. So everybody is how to say, have a good
experience for the
experience. Yeah, good vibes with you. So thank you so much.
You're
How
welcome.
do you feel in your last day?
I feel like I should be here another 2 more days, but I'm a little tired from doing the workshops with many people to organize. It's sometimes not easy, but we had such a good time because everyone was happy and felt challenged and wanted to do the exercises. It's just there's not enough time. You want to do everything, and there's not enough time. There's never enough time. Never.
Yeah, I noticed that because sometimes your private takes 90 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and people doing.
Yeah. I wasn't. It's does you have this nice clock, and I have this clock that's still on New York time, so I don't I don't know what the 1 hour is.
So when you're inspired, you don't think about time. You just do
somewhat, yes.
Okay, so the very first question that I ask to all the teachers is about their own start in the Pilates program.
Yeah.
The very first time you came to Romana. So, why did you start your Pilates way?
I was dancing in New York City. I had a shoulder issue. My shoulder was, we don't know what the bicep tendon. We know later it was a pull of a bicep tendon. Those days it was just your shoulder, something wrong with the shoulder, and it was during lifting of my partner in the air, and so at that time someone said. A dancer friend of mine said, you need to go see Romana at Uncle Joe's, at Joe's place. And I said, well, who's that? So I finally went, I don't remember the sequence, but I went down to West 56th Street and went up the stairs and met Romana the first day, and she says, okay honey, let's go over here, we have a shoulder issue, well let's work on little things and then big things in your shoulder. I said okay. So that was about it. It was a lot of dancers who knew who were somewhat in the know would go if they needed certain balance, to balance their bodies a little better. Sometimes their director would say, I think you should go for some Pilates to make you a better dancer, So that was my experiences because of an injury.
So what was the impression after the first few classes with Romana? You were maybe shocked.
No, I wasn't shocked. It was... it seemed very natural in a way, because everyone who was there was either a dancer, a television person, or a Broadway dancer, or a film person, and they were all artists, and everyone was working on different things in different ways. But it was easy to tell that everyone was working on balance in some form or other, balance in the body. But you could see it from Joe's charts on the wall. All these old charts and photographs. So it felt somewhat natural. I wasn't shocked, but everybody, when they go into a Pilates studio, oftentimes they say it looks like a torture chamber, right? Yeah. Well, it was just another piece of equipment to help you, like a ballet bar.
So can you say that you completely understood all the ideas from the first lesson, all the principles, all the ideas?
Yeah. No, I didn't understand anything. I really simply did what Romana told me to do. And I think that when you're in the hands of someone like Romana, who has this tremendous spirit, she arranged the studio. She paid the bills. She made sure that all the equipment was correct. She made sure that we were all employed. She would say, honey, watch your legs over there. So she could teach you, she could teach you, and then she would go, oh, you over there, you know. So you felt very confident in her abilities to help you in whatever way she wanted to, because she was that kind of a teacher.
So you just believe the profession?
Yes, I believe that it was whatever it was going to do was going to help me, and that somehow or other it was going to help my shoulder. We didn't go right into shoulder work or arm work. That came later. I don't even remember when, but it did.
So what exercises you do first?
Reformer. Yeah, and you know, with the arms she would watch my shoulder. We did rowing on 2 springs. It's usually 1 spring, you know.
Now it's 1 spring.
And yeah. So, but I was teaching some of the men on 2 springs.
With me?
Here, with you. Yes, as strong men. So we were all strong, but she knew the body. She knew what the body could handle. If I couldn't handle 2 springs, she put it on 1. I would trust, you know. But so it was very much kind of, you work with the body. You just work with the body in front of you. And I was fortunate enough to be there, to be involved in Pilates when that idea was so simply put for each individual. As Romana would say, you teach the body in front of you, and that's what she did.
But otherwise, was there any difficult things? I mean, maybe you have some bad habits for that time that you have to change in your body, and that was difficult for you on that time. So, was there any difficulty?
I don't remember it. I do remember one thing but she told me something about dance. It wasn't about Pilates. And it was kind of a habit. It was a body type issue. But she says, Anthony, you know, you have a nice body. You don't have a long neck. You know, there's a lot of dads have a long neck. She says, so you have to make sure that you turn your head, that it's not in one place all the time, because then you look short. So she says, make it move. And so everything she gave me oftentimes had movement to it, a lot of head movement, a lot of turning of the head. But that was for me, but that's kind of a habit of mine, but it's more of a body type. I can't make my neck longer than it is, but it would be nice. But that was kind of the way it was. You just take things that you work with the body. She worked with my body, and she gave me ideas about my dancing. You're a good dancer, but let's, you know, make sure you move the body.
So what was the year?
I met Romana in 1979.
79, okay. So what was your thoughts on that period? I mean, maybe you have some thoughts about the future, thoughts about your professional way, some dreams.
I don't think so, Marat.
I don't think that you dreamed to be the Pilates teacher at that time.
Right, no, not at all. Pilates was a vehicle to heal my shoulder, so I can continue dancing well. That was it. And so whatever was there, it was interesting enough for me to stay. Romana was strong enough. Everyone was good nature enough to want me to stay and see what happened. So, but it was a means to an end. The Pilates was something there for me to help me dance better and dance more healthy. Yeah.
So how it happened that you become a Pilates teacher first and then the teacher of trainers?
Oh, at some point, Romana said, you have to teach with me. And I said, oh, but I don't know anything. And she says, oh, yes, you do. You just come. But I was also dancing at the time. My career, I wasn't dancing, all day long. So after rehearsal, I'd come down, and usually I worked in the afternoon to the evening, and she'd work with me, and that was it. It was shortly thereafter. It was only when I was dancing and touring, it must have been maybe somewhere within a year that she says, you have to work with me. I'm not very good at telling you November 15, September 20. It's just sort of an experience. But other people remember, not me.
Okay,
but
we'll ask them.
Yeah, we'll ask them, yes.
But anyway, it was a very natural way.
It was, yeah, natural in the way that there were certainly many, many wonderful teachers before me. She just didn't pick me. She chose other people. I wasn't special. I was just special to her, but she had many special people. Many people were special to her. I was just lucky enough that she thought we had something that I could help her work the studio. But I still didn't think I knew much.
Now?
No, then.
Then.
Yeah, say, how can I do this?
Okay.
How can I help you?
So, you did it anyway?
I did it anyway. The first client was the Cook. He was a American ballet theater dancer. I remember he was like beautiful body. He had a nice unitard on, one piece, and he brought in his dog, and he's a soloist, so with one of the top companies in the world. And she says, work with him. And I was, what am I going to do with this body? I mean, it looks perfect to me, he has no injury, but. So I work with him.
Can we say that the first difficulties
as
a Pilates teacher was how to train the healthy body?
Yes, it was, and I can't remember whether he had anything wrong with him at all. Because he'd have his dog with him. I was obviously just having a good time. I don't remember doing anything specific with him, except I asked him at the end, "How did you feel?" He said, "Oh, I feel fine." I don't know if I did anything special or just regular or what.
How long did it take you to feel confident with that type of people, or with simple clients? I mean, so you feel confident with your hands, with your eyes, and with your thoughts?
That's an interesting question.
Approximately, maybe.
How long? I can't even tell you, Murad. I think it just kind of organically happened that way, in that I didn't feel uncomfortable. I don't think ever in working with people. Some people made me feel uncomfortable, just like personality-wise. But I felt that I think I had a good grasp of the work. I remember one of the first people that Romana had me work individually with was someone who had muscular sclerosis, muscular
dystrophy.
No, muscular dystrophy. Had MS. Muscular. Oh my goodness. So anyway, she says, well, when she could not come to the studio, she said, "Either you go there to her." So she trusted me immediately, or soon after I came to the studio. So that was a good thing. So you have someone like that who's trusting and who guides you through almost every step of the way. You don't feel extraordinarily incapable. It kind of works out. I'm sure she wouldn't give me anyone who she didn't think that I was incapable of teaching. Do you understand?
Yeah. So you train a lot, and you see the body changing. So can you tell us the benefits of Pilates method? We know about your body because you treated your shoulder, but with the bodies of your clients or your students, not also with the bodies, but maybe with the brains. So, what good things Pilates brings to the bodies and to the brains or to the mind?
What do I think Pilates brings to the... Well, certainly you have to have enough experience in Pilates with good teachers, and there's good teachers everywhere, especially with Romаны Pilates, because we are the best trained. But a client or anyone has to have enough experience to know that, to think that it's going to feel that it's going to do something. You just can't come in one day and come back next month and have anything happen. So you have to have a bit of commitment, both financially and time-wise, etc. But what did Joe say? After 10 lessons, you should know that your body is changed. And if you teach well, and you instruct well, and you are positive, but honestly positive, oh, that's much better. Oh, I can see. Do you feel that? That by that 10th lesson, you've accomplished something quite wonderful for that person. And if they, maybe they'll come back. But I think all of that, I think those kinds of questions really, for me, relate to the success of Pilates is through the person who's in front of me. So, I think that's it. Okay, yeah, agree.
So you saw a lot of young teachers here, and also the apprentices. So can you give a good advice to that young teachers who just get their certificates?
Yes.
Or going to?
The workshop the 3 workshops that you created, or we created together to teach here. One was how to expand the basic work, the basic reformer, the basic Cadillac, how to make it more rich, not just for the client but for you to understand deeper what the principles are, what the purposes are of the exercise, how to guide with your hands to make that happen more. And I would say, the second workshop was a little more advanced. It had more ideas. The exercises were bigger. They were more about the kinds of exercises. And the way the exercises were taught and executed in the early days, in the early 1980s, they were a little different. They were bigger, a little broader. Then came many, many people, and so it was like, okay, we need to close up this vocabulary. We can't be so broad because we're not all dancers and actors and all have the same kind of spirit. The businessman and businessman lunch. With the businessman, we have the lady who is just, who is a shopper and has fun and she just wants to try the new thing. But the advice. That's an easy one for me because it comes through experience. For the new teacher, don't move the client too fast. That once we have this volume of knowledge, you've just had your certification. Oh, I'm done. Now I'm going to go teach. Well, your training has just begun. What I don't want you to do is go out there and say, okay, I'm going to do everything that Anthony taught in the seminars because I'm now certified. No, maybe you'll experience that again and some other time at another convention, and you say, okay, this is going to be good. Now I can, and the client is of a level where they can experience that. You're of a level where you understand it a little bit more. But don't move the client too fast. I've had the experience that I was just, okay, we're going to do it, and I'm going to open my studio, and then we're going to have a great time, and I said, oh, that's too far. I made the mistake of moving them too fast, and to pull them back was difficult. So, and still to this day, there's still a couple of people who think that they're moving too slow. But that was my mistake. So So I decided, okay, that's it. Well, I closed the studio for after the Christian holidays and after the Jewish holidays and after American Thanksgiving, and I close after New Year. So 5 times a year we close. You come back, basic for 1 week. Everybody. Teachers can only teach basic to remember the foundations. Then, and if they teach the basic well, the clients remember, okay, yes, now I understand. It's not just moving fat, it's how to anchor all the principles. Then you say, okay, here we are, there we are, precision and control, and now you use it, now you can use your breath. So it was through a mistake that I find that to tell young teachers, don't move too fast. Take your time, build your business, build your Pilates repertoire from the foundation.
So you can get more pleasure on the advanced level.
Yeah.
And another type of advice for us, for more experienced teachers who maybe work here a lot, for me, for Olga, for all the levels here. Do you have something to say us?
Go back to the basics. A lot. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, go back to the foundation a lot. I think because everything's there. Everything's there, and then of course, like in the intermediate repertoire, you have everything. You have extension, you have rounding, you have twisting. Everything is there. So that's the meat and potatoes. But I still think it's the basic that you can work on. Everyone can work on, because we have basic exercise on all. If you have a studio like this, it has everything. So look at basic 1, basic 2, basic 3, basic 4, basic magic, basic weights, basic. That's a lot of material to go through. At least 4, 5, 6 times a year, 7, and then go on. But learn from those experiences, I think, and that would make everybody a better teacher and better prepared to take your client to the next level. I was fortunate enough to have like I told you, the Romana, one of the first clients where she had me go was to work with someone who was sick, and the motor tendencies motor capacities weren't there. So I went to her, and then I had a little boy who came to my studio at 9 years old with overextended ligaments, and he would crawl, and I had him till he was almost 16. And so we finally got him on a reformer with very light springs, but I didn't know what I could do. I just knew from my experience, and my experience from Joe and Romani, that you can help this person. Just don't hurt him. So we, rather than magic, he was too little to use a magic, so we used a little ball. And then finally he got bigger at 12 years old, then we used a magic circle. So we sort of progressed that way, and not every decision I made was the best one, but I didn't hurt him, and he progressed. He does Pilates every day as of life. Then there was a little boy who came on also at the same age after that with muscular dystrophy, and as the muscles atrophied, then he was in a wheelchair, and we put springs in the wheelchair, and we used the springs just, I'm sure, as Joe did with, the stories of Joe bringing people up the stairs. And say, well, I'm going to cure you, young man, I'm going to cure you. Well, you have the confidence because you have the background and the experience of a wonderful teacher to do things that would help every person. It's like can you think of anybody that this is not going to help in some fashion or other?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, probably not in some way or other, right? In posture, in maybe just even attitude towards life. You come to a healthy studio with good, healthy, positive teachers, you feel better. You don't just look better, you feel better when you leave. So we're changing people. That's what it is. As I said, my mission in my Pilates life is to maintain the integrity of the work, and also to give back to the teachers and those who came into the studio the same kind of spirit that it was given to me. You know, we say pass it on in the U.S. Pass it on. You pass it on, right? That's the way you build both, confidence and better bodies, but also a feeling of uplifting spirit. So I think it's going to be all your teaching is reflected by those you teach.
Yeah.
But you feel that. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for